There's no need for the government to stop people from demonstrating. People, those who want to demonstrate, come out and demonstrate from one place to the other place. Let it be allowed, because this is a constitutional right of every Kenyan.
Kenya is set for nationwide protests on June 25th, 2025, and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has just endorsed them. Speaking in Mombasa, Raila called the demonstrations a constitutional right, but stressed the need for police coordination to keep them peaceful. What's driving these protests and what's at stake? June 25th, 2025 marks 1 year since the 2024 anti-government protests that rocked Kenya. Those demonstrations saw thousands take to the streets, culminating in the historic breaching of parliament. Tragically, tens of youths lost their lives. This Wednesday, Kenyans are holding the demonstrations again to honor the fallen with coordinated marches in cities like Nairobi, Mombasa and Kisumu, demanding accountability and justice.
So on 25th, we are asking Kenyans that no one is safe. If you stay home, they will come for you the same way they came for Juang and killed him.
On Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, Raila Odinga spoke at a groundbreaking ceremony in Mombasa County. The Orange Democratic Movement leader endorsed the upcoming protests, emphasizing that Article 37 of Kenya's constitution guarantees every citizen the right to assemble and picket without police interference, provided they follow legal protocols.
Maandamano ni haki ya Wakenya wote. Mimi nasema kama Wakenya wanataka kuandamana, kitu muhimu zaidi nataka kwa polisi waambiwa na polisi wakubaliana ya kwamba tutatoka hapa tufanye maandamano mpaka hapa. Alafu baadaye sisi tutatoka turudi nyumbani bila kwenda kuharibu mali yote. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema Wakenya wako na haki hata kesho kwanza kufanya maandamano. Lakini wakubaliana ya kwamba tutaanza hapo na tutaenda mpaka hapo. Alafu mambo itakwisha hapo. Mimi nasema namna hiyo. Hiyo ni msimamo ya chama chetu cha ODM. Wakenya wako na haki ya maendeleo, maandamano. Kenyans have a right to picket, to assemble and to demonstrate.
Article 37 is a pillar of Kenya's democratic framework. It ensures every Kenyan can peacefully demonstrate and petition public authorities. Raila clarified that this right requires responsibility. Protesters must submit a formal request to the police detailing the date, time and location of the demonstration to ensure order and safety. Raila cited examples from around the world, noting that protests in places like Iran, London and America are planned with police coordination. He urged protesters and law enforcement to agree on designated routes and protests' durations. This, he said, ensures demonstrations are peaceful and amplify the protesters' message effectively.
The exception is that first you need to notify the police, and you agree with the police. This is where you are going to start the demonstration, and we will follow this route up to this end here, and this will be the end of the demonstration. And from this time to this time. So we need to have a proper working relationship, because demonstrations are going to come all the times. There will be reason for demonstrations. So we should not criminalize demonstrations. Demonstrations also should not disrupt the economy of the country. People should agree in a civilized way how demonstrations are conducted. And that way we will have a very peaceful country. This is what I'm saying. And therefore I've said that even tomorrow there's no need for the government to stop people from demonstrating. People, those who want to demonstrate, come out and demonstrate from one place to the other place. Let it be allowed, because this is a constitutional right of every Kenyan.
The government, however, has taken a dismissive stance that there will be no demonstrations on June 25th. Anyone wishing to mark the day is free to do so at home.
It is only in Kenya where a citizen will say they will invade parliament, they will invade the judiciary, they will visit State House, and they still walk scot-free, not charged, and even when they are taken to court, Your Excellency, they will be released on, and they are told you can just go home for free.
None of us is above the law. You cannot intimidate the police. You cannot use force against the police, or insult, or threaten the police.
The public is also urged to refrain from provocative acts directed to police officers in the execution of their duties.
These sparked mixed reactions, with many Kenyans seeing it as an attempt to curtail their constitutional right.
When you allow goons to come and disperse peaceful demonstrators on the streets, you are sending us to Haiti. Please stop that. You have the ability to stop. If you wanted to stop it, you will stop it.
And especially young people must be allowed to express themselves without fear. Speaking truth to power is a service to the nation, not an act of rebellion. We must not threaten dissenters with death. We must change our political discourse from insulting, dismissive, arrogant statements to constructive and respectful exchanges regardless of our political position or persuasion. We must stop threatening one another or playing games with death threats.
We reaffirm the sanctity of every human life, the urgency of justice, and the value of peace. That next Sunday, in all our churches, we offer prayers for the young people who died and for all the others who have lost their lives. May God bless Kenya.
Raila Odinga even went further to castigate the church, questioning the loudness of the church during these Gen Z's protests. Yet in 2023, when they sought refuge to even commemorate the deaths of those who died during their protests called by Azimio, church rejected them.
But then you will remember, in 2023, when our boys had been killed and our girls, when we wanted to go and pray for our boys and girls, we were not allowed in any church to go and pray. All the churches refused to allow us a place to pray at that time. The hypocrisy is that now the church is coming out to say, we are ready, we are with you people. Where were they all that?
The 2024 protests were a defining moment for Kenya, fueled by frustration over governance issues. They saw unprecedented public action, including the storming of parliament. The loss of young lives left a lasting impact, making Wednesday's protests both a tribute to the fallen and a renewed call for systemic change. Wednesday's protests are set to begin in the morning, with peaceful marches planned in major towns. Organizers are heeding Raila's call to notify police, aiming for disciplined demonstrations. However, the government's stance could create tensions. All eyes are on how these events will unfold across Kenya.
It is important to note that unauthorized persons must refrain from accessing protected areas under the Protected Areas Act.
Raila Odinga's endorsement of the June 25th protests highlights the strength of Kenya's democracy. As the nation prepares for these marches, the call for peace and organization remains key. What will Wednesday bring? Share your thoughts. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.